Hi, it's Stacy from Families with Grace, and today we are talking about God's faithfulness. God is always faithful even in the midst of hard times, finding truth in the Word of God. Each day, I send a note in my kids' lunchboxes. We've come up with themed days for the notes. For example, on Motivation Monday, I send an encouraging or inspiring quote. On Wacky Wednesday, I send a joke, something funny. On Truth Tuesday, I send a Bible verse. The majority of the time, I'm the lunchbox note writer, but sometimes my husband takes on note duty as we're divvying up tasks in the evenings. This week, he wrote the kids' Truth Tuesday notes. He chose Psalms 55:22. I've read this verse in the NIV Bible many times, but this was my first time reading it in the ICB, the International Children's Bible, which is what I usually use for my kids' verses, and this is how it reads. Give your worries to the Lord. He will take care of you. He will never let good people down. That verse pierced my heart as I looked over it to make an image for the ongoing Truth Tuesday post I make of verses I send. I was challenged by the last part of the verse that says, God will never let good people down. The truth is, I have felt like God has let me down before, when he was quiet in responding to my pleas, or he said no to a fervent prayer that I thought was in line with his will. The NIV Bible says it this way, God will never let the righteous be shaken. And again, I feel challenged because I certainly have felt shaken many times when life has tossed me a major curveball that not only pummeled into me, but totally switched my reality in unexpected ways. However, I also believe the Bible is the infallible Word of God. That means this verse is true whether I always feel its truth or not. I've learned throughout my life in various struggles that God is ever faithful. He doesn't always work in ways that make sense to me, but he is always there. God has never let me down because he has never let me go. My attention wanders away from him sometimes, but he's never taken his eye off me. During times when I felt like a burden was too much to bear, God has reminded me that he will help me carry the burden and even carry me when I need him to. I also have had times I felt shaken, as the NIV Bible says. I have felt like a major earthquake has happened in my life, in fact, but I have never been shaken out of his hand. The truth is, in the midst of my hardest times, when I was in utter despair and didn't see or hear God, he was there. Always, always, he has held on to me and reminded me of his presence if I only paid attention. He has brought me peace and comfort in the midst of days I thought would be the end of me. He has been ever faithful. When I ponder on who God is in reality and in my life, I can say that he has not let me down, and he has not let me be shaken from his grasp. He is ever faithful and always good. He is always working for my good, even when I don't understand what's going on. And that, my friends, is why we don't need to worry. We have the freedom to lay down our cares and burdens and place them on the shoulders of someone who can not only bear them, but is in charge of it all. God did not make us to carry the load alone. He will hold us close even when we feel alone and keep us steady and safe even when we feel shaken. He doesn't promise that life will be easy, but he does promise he will be with us every step of the way. I am so very thankful